Hi, Elena is here. And today I'm delighted to have Miss Carol Hollenbeck back to my channel to talk about exciting news. So, Miss Hollenbeck, hi, and welcome back.
Yes, it's it's great to be back.
So, would you please tell us again about the title of the
you're
book?
so sweet.
I will. Sure, and would love to also you share with me the link so people who see this interview can donate through the link.
Aren't you sweet? Well, it's on Indiegogo. It's on Indiegogo, and then you look up Carol Hollenbeck, Blonde Madness, and it's in the book part of Indiegogo because there's a lot of funding sources on Indiegogo. So mine is in the book funding, and actually it's a cute little video, and I use my I think you've seen my blonde doll. I use that, and my book is a suspense, kind of scary, hopefully scary, a novella. It's really not a long piece. It is what it is. It's a short novella. It's like it's not quite a novel. So and I think it's perfect for certain things. It's very suspenseful. It's all fiction, unlike True Blondes, which is on Amazon, is really based on my life, of course, with fiction. But A Moment of Blonde Madness is totally fiction. So that's the situation with the Indiegogo, and I'll get the link. I'll have my Heidi get the link to you if you don't mind.
So as we speak, actually, Google. As we speak, Miss Hollenbeck, I googled Indiegogo.com and put your name in the search bar, and it pops up. I see A Moment of Blonde Madness.
Yes.
So it popped up, and so there is an option to donate to the project. Also, it pops up right away. So I see it. So it's pretty easy and straightforward to find.
Thank you.
On Indiegogo.com.
You have somebody who's savvy with the technology. I'm not. I don't know, and I can't totally blame it on my age because some people that are my age really know more. I'm a basic person, and so that's the interesting thing about the Blonde Madness. So, and then the other thing is this: there's a book coming out. Tom, make sure it's spelled not spelled. Lasante. Is if you look him up, he's a very well-known writer with a lot of 60s material, a lot of cult films. He's an absolutely adorable, wonderful person. Really is. Not just because he's working with me, but he just happens to be. And by the way, I don't want to work with anyone who isn't great, but nice. And he's got a book called Dueling Harlows, which is coming out. I think it's going to be coming out in hard copy, which he had self-published, but it is now being published by a real signature publisher. And Dueling Harlows is about, in the 1960s, there were two Jean Harlow movies being made. One was with Carol Baker and one was with Carol Lindley. And then there was me, who was set up for an interview to try to get into one of the Harlow films, which I did get the interview, but I didn't get into one of the Harlow films. But the bottom line is that what I'm saying is this movie called Dueling Harlows, it's got the most beautiful cover, and it has Carol Baker, Carol Lindley, Dueling Harlows, and I'm in there with a very big picture of me and a whole feature article on me in the book. So that is exciting too. So that's exciting. And so these are the things that are happening. And I sent you my play, and at some point, whenever you can, maybe you'll take a look at it. I am in no hurry, don't worry. I appreciate you even wanting to take a look at it. And so the other things that I might want to, is the main thing is that I wanted to, is about the funding and if there's a way that, I wanted to get it published before September, but with the movie and with this article coming out in Cinema Retro, which I'm meeting with him tomorrow, that would be so good if you could come and to the screening.
Sure.
My guest. And
thank you.
I would love it. And you could bring
Thank you so much.
you could bring
Oh, very happy to come. I'll, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know your sense of humor. I know, I mean, I know that you have that kind of sense of humor. I don't know your sense of humor, but I know you have that kind of sense of humor. And so I think you would enjoy it. And
Ms. Hollenbeck, when is the screening?
well, that's the whole thing. I'm waiting to find out. I'm going to be tomorrow with him. I mean, I'll email you. We don't have to have
Please.
you know, a TV thing, but I'll email you that. I'll keep you in mind. And maybe when we get to it, when it's, you know, coordinated with the release of the article and the screening, I have to find out when the article is going to be coming out, the feature, and it will, I'm sure, hopefully by September. What can I say?
Hopefully we'll fundraise some money for you.
Oh, you're a doll. You're really a doll. Thank you so much.
Would love it. Yeah, I would love to support your projects. I really love your work.
Now,
So-
I just would like to make a couple of comments with all of the stuff going on in the crazy world that we're in. I ever tell you about a situation which I was in, and it's kind of Me Too thing. You know that I did a whole Me Too documentary on seniors finally have their say, right? Yeah, we did. And anyway, I went to see this film called Sound of Freedom, and it's heavy and very disturbing, but at the same time, brilliant. And it brought back an incident of happened to me in Hollywood, even though I was an adult. You know, that film is about sexual trafficking of children. And yeah, horrible. This particular thing that happened to me, I like to talk about because I thought, well, my God, I'm an adult survivor of a possible potential kidnapping.
Wow.
I was able to not be kidnapped. And that, like I said, was back in the 60s. And I had been known around Hollywood, getting a lot of publicity, a lot of different things. And some woman had been stalking me and I didn't know it. And she was contacting my manager. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because the film that the Sound of Freedom is about trafficking, period, is that it's people should talk about it and should know about it. And so what happened to me was, unbeknownst to me, this woman had been watching me and stalking me. And she was working for a very big procurer, or I don't want to use the word pimp, one who put very beautiful women in front of Hollywood producers, but also, I understand, kidnapped them to go to Saudi Arabia and Iran.
Oh God.
And how I escaped that was that
I'm sorry, how old were you?
I was 20. I'm an adult. The movie is about children, but it brought to my mind, I need to talk about the time that I was.
Yeah.
I was, you know, they were heading to kidnap me, and I think it was to put me up for the highest bidder for Saudi Arabia or Iran, because they love blondes, and I was known in Hollywood as to be this really fantastic looking blonde, and I was all over the press and stuff like that. And so and a woman, and that's another thing, people don't realize that, according with Jeffrey Epstein and everything, Maxwell, her first name, was his pimp, you know, to get him. She was procuring and picking up women and grooming them. And so this woman was after me. My manager finally said, "You got to talk to her. She keeps calling me." But he said, I called the FBI, and they found out that the FBI, he was on the most wanted list, this man that she was trying to put me in contact with, for kidnapping women. And so they, we had a meeting at a restaurant with the FBI, and they wanted me to go undercover and go through with something. And I was 22 years old, and I was very frightened. And I said, I can't do that. we did arrange for me to go and meet this person with the FBI behind me. And so what happened is they took me up, well, the driver, not them. They were up there waiting for me, and the FBI was behind me, and my manager, and they took me in a car up to the high hills of Hollywood, and to this huge big, it looked like a big warehouse, and I got out. The guy got me out of the car, and he escorted me into this place. I know, and there was somebody there who looked up on top of this balcony of like this warehouse, and it said, she is here. Carol Holland is here. And I was Holland then, not Hollenbeck. And he came out and he said, and then the guy said, but I have to tell you, she has people in the car waiting for her. Well, that guy took off like a bat out of hell, and he ran for the hills. And I don't know if the FBI ever caught him, but had I not been with the FBI, had I been there, had stupid enough to go alone, I would have maybe been knocked out and sent off to Saudi Arabia.
Maybe. This is terrifying. And I've heard stories like this, and I want to thank you to bring tough stories like this to the public, to talk about this and write the books and create the work around this. We need to know the truth and the tough stories, even from the past, because history repeats itself, and unfortunately, the worst things happen over and over again. But
I'm so glad you feel that way, because I'm a little bit afraid to bring it up because it's
don't please. I appreciate your courage to do this. I know how painful it could be to learn about those stories that happen to other women, and you've been so close to this, to be kidnapped. It must be terrifying. I would have
it wasn't kidnapped. I could have been kidnapped. Yeah,
you could, but
yeah.
you were super close to that.
Very evident. I mean, she could have even got me on the street somewhere and had somebody push me on me. And the other thing about it is that Ghislaine Maxwell, who was Epstein's groomer, and in this movie, the child thing, I'm sorry to tell you, there are women groomers that are grabbing the children and bringing them into the sex trafficking. Women. So we have to really take a look at ourselves here to see what is causing. But a lot of that is caused by threats from that they're going to kill the person's family if they don't do it. So, I don't know the answer, but it just made me realize that I am a survivor of a potential kidnapping. Thank God, adult survivor, not a child, adult. And I want to make that very clear, because I don't put myself in a horrific situation. But I'm glad I got a chance to speak to you about it, because it's so important. It's something that I never talked about. I mean, I've written plays about certain things. I have a play called Back Room at the Bar, which it's a long one act, and it's about two women and one man, and a psycho who is playing cat and mouse with this woman downstairs in the bar area, and he attacked. I mean, it is a powerful play. I've had it. It's been produced several times. It's a powerful play. So, and I'd like to get that out there again too. Anything that has to do with what we go through or what we've been through, and what message we can send, and how we can help, others, and how we can get the message out to do something to be. My life on earth has to be about something other than me and my dreams of being a superstar. I'm laughing because those days are gone. So I thought I'd make a joke. My dreams of being a super you can't be about that anymore. So it has to be something you have to do that's good for the world.
I agree with this. Yes, and you're doing a great job.
You're a delight, and So that's the main thing that I was wanting to discuss. I took some notes here that I would, get like too shy or too afraid that I would talk about it and make sure I did talk about it. So I'm very glad. In the meantime, the Barbies, we'll talk about that. I can't.
Could you bring her closer to the camera to see it?
They're all different. They're all in different outfits, but they're all packaged. They've been here since 2008. I have not opened one of them.
Oh,
they're all brand new.
amazing.
But anyway, so I thought with the event of Barbie coming out, and it's very, it's great to have gone to see one terribly disturbing film, but brilliant. And then to go see a funky farce like Barbie, which is so stupid and silly that it makes you laugh.
I can't wait to see it.
It's funny. It's by, well, you're blonde and you'll enjoy it. I mean, there's all kinds of Barbies up there, all a melting pot, but it's a lot of fun. And so I'd like to hear how you're doing.
I'm doing great. I'm glad I have many talented, nice people like yourself on my channel, and it's growing. So this channel, by the way, I want to say was won 2 awards.
That's wonderful.
Since we spoke
Yes.
as best podcast into film festivals, and also became a nominee in 2 other festivals. So I have 4 nominations. 2 of those are awards for the best podcast.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So they're gonna send me the trophy.
That's really nice.
Oh,
yeah, but that's what you work for,
Mm-hmm.
You get that recognition. So,
well, I work. I'd say not my main goal to work, not for the award, but it's very pleasant to be recognized and receive awards.
And you do other things too. You're something in finance, right? Are you in finance?
No. I'm a business person, entrepreneur. So I do investing in real estate.
Oh my
I'm
God.
kind of a beginner in that, but doing well. So
Great.
yeah, besides all my work and my film, which I'm going to send you, but so I'm working on film adaptation based on that story. So you'll see you'll see a short film of like about 12 minutes called Manifesto, and now my film adaptation is ready based on that story. It's developed into the feature.
Good.
So it's my next step. But thank you for asking. I appreciate it. You also kind of gave me a little, a nice shot of putting myself out there and telling about my work. I mean, I appreciate when people I interview ask me back.
Yeah, you have to. You have to do that. You got to try to promote. We have to try to promote ourselves. It's very hard for me to do that. Like I said, it's hard for me to go out there and say to my friends, "Hey, donate." I mean, I know. Just got out of the hospital. The last thing in the world I want to think about is, and I can understand that. So I wouldn't they don't even know I have this going. So it's okay, because the last thing I would do is become so selfish and self-centered. Is, oh, well, you went to the hospital, so what? Donate. I mean, no way.
I hear you. That's why you always have me to get back, ring my bell, call me back, and always ask me if you have any updates and news. And even if you know someone who is your caliber, who wants to be on my channel to promote their work, I'm happy to talk.
I certainly will.
Put out there the work, to talk about a new work which can benefit the world.
Yes.
The stories, new stories, we need to hear them.
New stories and talk about things that are hard to talk about to try to help get a message across.
Is anything else, Ms. Hollenbeck, would you like to share with us today?
No, I think that's other than that, people that are making, the world is crazy, and it's okay. It's okay. I'm going to leave it.
Perfect world, for sure.
We don't
Sure.
want to get into what the world is because then it goes on. That could go on for 10 talk shows. Well, it's been fun. I think this is wonderful that you gave me this time, and I appreciate it. And Barbie.
Oh, I love it.
Fun.
Would you bring it close, your portrait? No, Barbie. No,
book.
no, the book. The book.
Yeah, this is the True
This
Blind.
is you. Yeah,
That's
this is
the
you when
one
you were
on
so
Amazon.
beautiful.
That's the one on. That's when they were after me.
22-year-old.
That was
Hollywood.
when they were trying to kidnap me.
God. Yeah,
But
crazy.
I'm here to talk about it, and that's good.
I'd like that you survived that, and you're here with us to share your story. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Ms. Hollenbeck.
I thank you for appreciating that. Thank you.
Sure, and have a wonderful Sunday.
Yeah, and you too.
And this is Helena again with Boost Your Creativity and Bank Account podcast. Please like and subscribe so it will help me to bring more people like Carol Hollenbeck to share their stories.